Hello and welcome to Con 151, Construction Materials and Methods. My name is Todd Fonts, and I am going to be the instructor for this course. And this is video number 1, a little overview, introduction to this class. Pretty exciting stuff, right? So just a little background. What I am using as a platform to record these videos is called OSB or OBS. OSB is a type of plywood we may be learning about later. But this is actually OBS. I should know what that stands for. But it's like more of a gaming video platform recording type of thing. If you know anything about Twitch, I don't know anything about this. This whole world is new to me. But after looking at Camtasia and what's the one, Echo 360 and all these other platforms, this seems like it was the most user-friendly. It allowed me to do both a video of me at the same time that I'm doing a PowerPoint presentation for good, bad, or indifferent. You get to see my face. Some people like that. If you don't like it, I don't know, put a piece of tape over it or something. Who knows? But anyways, let's do a little overview of this class before we get going on with some material. So this class, or well, actually, before we get on this class, let's talk a little bit about me, since that's always fun to do, and my background. And I come from the world of civil engineering. I got my bachelor's degree from University of Colorado Boulder, and it's in civil structural. And after I got my degree, I went out and I worked in industry as a forming, shoring, and scaffolding engineer. What that means is I designed, you can see over here on the far left, this would be an example of a forming system. Forming is when you have the walls that you're holding your concrete up as it cures, as it hardens, right? This is called handset, meaning all these are individual pieces that are tied together with these little clips and things. And so this would be like one of the smaller systems it takes. It's very labor intensive, so you don't see it as much anymore on big projects, more like residential and things. But so I would design something like this. These are pretty easy. It's just like laying it out, figuring out how many panels you need, clips, and these supports, like how far you have to brace them and things like that. The middle slide is also what I did. I designed these high-rise scaffolding buildings, usually around the Denver area, downtown Denver area. And it gives access, of course, to people to go do plastering or any kind of fascia work or, exterior building work, whatever you might need to do as you're finishing up the building. So I'd have to design things like these cross braces and clear heights where you need stair towers. It's more like just laying it out on what the building is. Those weren't too bad either. On the far right, those are probably the hardest to design. Where this is a shoring. So shoring is so forming is like the walls. Shoring is like the ceiling, raise the roof, I guess, right? So what it is we're holding up the concrete as it cures. And so I would design. This is like a flying table system where you have these trusses, a series of trusses, these stringers and joists and plywood, and I have to figure out the spacings and leg loads based on the thickness of the concrete. And it's good old engineering stuff. And after doing this for about 5 years, I got a little tired of it, a little burned out. So I decided to do something a little different. And I went back to school and got a master's in education. And I did that at University of Colorado, Denver, and then became a science teacher. And I taught physics and primarily physics, but also chemistry at a private school called the Alexander Dawson School. It's in Lafayette, if anyone's familiar with that one. But taught there for about 4 years, and I also developed my own engineering class there. It was like high school physics of engineering type of class. Got real excited about that subject matter, so I came to CSU at that point, got a PhD in engineering education. So interdisciplinary with the College of Engineering and also the College of Education. And I was really interested in what gets students interested in engineering and what can I do to help them persist during their K-12 years. So if you ever took like a pre-engineering class in high school or something, like a drafting class in high school or robotics class in high school or anything like that, that was really my interest. Like, how can those be better? Also summer camps. If you ever did any like engineering or STEM summer camps, I had a big hand in researching how to make those more effective and better overall. And so after I finished my PhD, I got a job at Old Dominion University. It's in Norfolk, Virginia. So I had to leave Colorado. I was really sad about that, but you go where the work is, right? And I taught in their industrial technology and technology education program. I wasn't real fond of it. Industrial technology is it's just, I like construction. I like civil engineering. I like the. I don't know, I'm not as much into the industrial side of things, where it's almost all manufacturing and processes and things like that. But it was okay. I was there for about 3.5 years before accepting a job at Ohio University, where I've been for the last 5 years. And at Ohio University, I was teaching in the engineering college. I was teaching civil and mechanical engineering courses. I was teaching statics, dynamics, and strength materials. So some of these fundamental, they're called the mechanics classes. But the materials class is most applicable to what I'm doing here at CSU. And this is my first semester. So we'll be figuring out stuff together. And nothing like starting during this whole pandemic stuff, but some of you might be new here as well and feel my pain. So let's talk a little bit about the class, and the best way to do that is by looking at the syllabus. There's me again, and last name, everyone, I don't know, it gets pronounced France or Fantes or I don't know, all sorts of crazy things, but it's actually pronounced like it's a computer font, like fonts. I won't get angry if I mispronounce everyone else's name, so no big deal. But just so you know, my office is technically 107A Guggenheim. I'm not even actually in there, as you can see in my little basement office area right now. But 107A Guggenheim is where I will have these office hours from 11 to 12:30 on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Of course, you can always contact me and do this by appointment, and we can go from there. I don't actually even have a phone yet, as near as I know. But the best way to get a hold of me, of course, would be email, and that way we can do a Teams call or a Zoom call, or just communicate on email, or anything you might need. You could just contact me. That's definitely the best way. So even if I do get an office phone, or when I get an office phone, that's probably the worst way to try and contact me. I hate phones, at least office phones. Never good people calling me on that. This is our textbook, Construction Principles, 9th edition. I actually have it physically on my desk. You can see it's a big honking thing. And, I'm sure you can get it used at a much better price. You can get it probably in a number of different locations as well. There's the ISBN number, author, and all that kind of good stuff. Now, as a bonus, what you could do is you can just go to the Colorado State Library webpage. And if you click on this from here, I'm not going to do this right. I wonder what would happen if I did this. This could be a nightmare. Let's see if I do this. Oh, it looks like it's kind of working. All right. So if you went there and went to this library source, then you could search for this guy here, and I don't know, Olin's Construction or something. I don't remember what I said he should. Yeah, it looks like that search is done before, so looks like it should work. And if you search for this, let's see where it comes up. This is exciting for everyone, right? So, and then I don't know what the difference between those two links are, but if you click on one of these links from the library, you should see something that says View Online Full Textbook at, and click there, and it'll probably ask for some credentials to say you are actually a CSU student or something, right? Put in those, and now I have access to it. Now, it does say you can download it, but I don't think you want to download. In fact, I don't think you can download too much. It says up to 271 pages. This is massive, over 1,000 pages. So instead, if you want to do it this way, I would just do read online. It's not the prettiest, but if you wanted to, you could do this and make it a little more manageable and scroll down, and I don't know where I'm going here, and pick out a page wherever we're reading for that week, and you could probably just read from there, right? So, cool. So the book technically is free through the library if you want to go that route. Let's see if I can get back into my PowerPoint without too much trouble here. Looks like that kind of worked. So that's the textbook, and let's talk about grading. So the grading is going to consist of homework, and right now, like I said, I haven't taught this class before, so I'm piecing it together for what I think it's going to look like. And I'm planning on 4 homework assignments, a weekly quiz. Now, the quizzes are going to be short, like 3 or 4 questions, and all it really is it's not like a timed, well, it is timed, but you have like a day or two, so it's not like it's a 20-minute thing or anything. But basically, it says an opportunity for you to see if you were able to get anything out of the PowerPoint presentations or anything else we've gone through in class that would be important, right? I want to make sure you get all the important information. So you'll be able to go back and look at the PowerPoints, find out the answers to the quizzes. It shouldn't be too hard. There's actually 11 of them, and I figured I'd drop the lowest one, so you'll get graded, the 10 highest grades. The homework would be 15% of your grade. The quiz is 15% of your grade. Exams, there's 3 exams, and each one is worth 15% of your grade for a total of 45. There's one final, which is 25%, giving you a total. Hopefully that adds up to 100 if I did it right. Standard grading scheme here. I guess our department doesn't allow us to do minus and plus systems, so it's just A, B, C, D, E, F. But yeah. And attendance, of course, this is the big unknown going forward. I was asked how I wanted to do this class, and I would love to do it in person, have everyone there, but because of the social distancing requirements, I just can't do it. So I decided the best mode would be like a hybrid section. And what I have is everyone's is going to be broken into either a Monday, Wednesday, or Friday class. So I'll have this uploaded into Canvas, and it'll say, which section you're in. So on Monday, the Monday students can come. On Wednesday, the Wednesday students can come. And I can already warn you that when you get there, pick a seat you like, because that'll be your assigned seat. We're required to assign seats so that in case anyone does get a positive COVID test, they'll have to do contact tracing, and they want to know where everyone was sitting and who would be exposed and how far away they were and all this other kind of great fun stuff. So when you get to class on either if you're on Monday's class, or on Wednesday for Wednesdays, or Friday for Fridays, pick a seat you like, and then I'll jot down where you are, and hopefully you're good there for the rest of the semester. If you absolutely hate your seat, maybe we can negotiate with someone else before we write this down. I'll try and ask and see if anything's needed to be done. Notice I do say that the attendance is voluntary, so everything's going to be online. Really what it is it's going to have to function like an online class where all the content's uploaded. You can get everything from that content. What the 1 day a week will allow you to do is to get the personal interaction of the class, maybe ask some questions that were bothering you or anything like that about anything, and then not watch one video a week, so that way you can just see it live. So it'll be the same content. It'll just be live as opposed to video, and hopefully it'll be more interactive. I'm not good. I feel really awkward with the camera. I mean, just randomly talking, vlogging or whatever, right? So instead, it would hopefully be more like, hey, what do you think of this? Like a normal class would be in the normal days. So it is voluntary. I figure you can come whenever you want. It'd be great to see you, but if not, don't worry about it. I'm worried, as I think many are, that they're going to have to close the campus at some point because it'll be a big outbreak. In that case, it'll all be online anyways, but we shall see. Masks are mandatory when you come to class. So if you do plan on coming, be prepared. Please wear your mask. And I think I'm supposed to have some in the classroom in case you forgot. So don't keep that from having you come there if you forget your mask, but trying to make it a habit. There will be some days that we don't meet, and those will be their test days and review days. Since those will be virtual, then there's no reason for us to meet in person those days. And you'll see all this on the course outline or the schedule for the semester. Also, I plan on having some guest lectures. I think we already have some tentative guest lectures where they're going to be doing it in some kind of maybe Zoom format or a Teams format or some kind of streaming format where there's no point in all of us being in a classroom watching someone else stream in. So we won't be meeting those days as well. And then, of course, if you have any symptoms at all, please just don't come to class. There's no reason, maybe we can keep meeting if we can keep this whole thing from going too crazy. So that's a little bit about the attendance. The schedule, now this is just the first 5 weeks. I do have the whole thing on the syllabus that you can find on Canvas, but I just wanted to give you an overview of what this thing looks like. So it's basically 3 big sections, right? The section before exam 1, the section between test 1, section between test 1 and test 2, and the section between test 2 and test 3. So you can see I have it broken down into individual days, what we'll cover each day, the chapters that are associated with that section, any kind of homework or quiz. And like I said, so basically you should be seeing a quiz at the end of each week. So I haven't given this a whole bunch of thought exactly when they'll post, but my guess is maybe I'll post them on Friday morning, Thursday at midnight, and then you'd have to have it turned in by Saturday sometime or something like that. But we'll figure that out more in more detail later. And then there's also homeworks. Now I have homeworks posted and when they're due, so you'll have quite a bit of time between the two. It's to complete these homeworks, and you can see we already have the first 4 quizzes and we have 2 homeworks going for this first section. And we'll start off with some general stuff, then go into earthwork, concrete, and all the way to test 1, 9:25. Mark your calendars. Now the test will be a timed thing. It's going to be, that's the only thing I think that's like, okay, you have an hour or something and good luck. So, my thought right now is that because it's going to be virtual, it'll in essence have to be open note, open book. I'll be asking for closed internet and closed neighbor. It isn't a group exam, but yeah. Oh, speaking of which, if as far as homeworks, you can also work with others as well. You still have to submit your own work, but maybe when time gets closer and we start talking about individual homeworks, we can discuss that in more detail. So that's the layout of the first 5 weeks. Should make sense. The entire semester is laid out on Canvas, so go over there and make sure you mark on your calendars when these exams are and things, so you can keep in touch. And that's what I have for an overall course overview or intro. So with that, what I recommend you do is you head over to Module 1, which would be week 1. And within week 1, you'll see the very first general, I think it was general requirements. I don't remember, but it's under the date of day 1, which would be Monday, the first day of classes. And I'll have another streaming video there, or actually recorded video there, and lecture notes. And what else do you need to know? I think that's it. Please contact me if you have any questions or comments, and I look forward to a good semester. Thanks.